Computer speakers or headphones are required to take this training module. It is not possible for the learner to accomplish the training module without hearing the audio. The player controls for this presentation are shown on this slide. The presentation will play automatically a few slides at a time until the subject matter changes. When the presentation stops, simply click the play button to continue viewing. The presentation will close automatically when you have completed the training module. Click the play button when you are ready to begin. This sample training material was prepared by JMCC LLC. It is for demonstration purposes only. All materials contained in this presentation are protected by copyright laws and may not be reproduced, republished, distributed, transmitted, displayed, broadcast, or otherwise exploited in any manner without the express prior written permission of JMCC LLC. Welcome to the IFR 4000 training course demonstration. The IFR 4000 NavCom test set is used to perform ground testing of aircraft navigation and communication systems. In this example of the IFR 4000 training course, we will cover testing an aircraft VOR system. Beyond VOR testing capabilities, the IFR 4000 can be used to test aircraft marker beacon, localizer, glide slope, and integrated ILS systems. It also tests HF, VHF, and UHF communication systems, selective calling systems, emergency locator transmitter systems, and can perform standing wave ratio checks on antennas and their associated cabling. JMCC offers an online course curriculum covering all of these subjects. In addition to the IFR 4000 course, JMCC offers training for the IFR 6000 transponder DME and TCAS test set, the DPS 350 and DPS 450 pedostatic test sets, and the Avionica RSU-2. The next slide will begin the demonstration of the IFR 4000 VOR test training. VOR systems are used by flight crews to navigate to and from VOR stations. The IFR 4000 can simulate the signals radiated by those VOR stations. A typical aircraft maintenance manual will call for testing the VOR system to ensure that the system shows a flag when the station is not tuned. The VOR course width accuracy is usually checked. The bearing accuracy to the VOR station will be tested, as well as the to or from station function. Some aircraft manufacturers will also call out a VOR audio test. This sample of tests may not include every test applicable for your aircraft type. Always follow the aircraft maintenance manual instructions for the type of aircraft you are working. The first step in performing a VOR system test on an aircraft is to connect the telescoping antenna to the antenna connection on the top of the IFR 4000. Next, turn on the test set. Remember, the test set will show the VOR test screen after it accomplishes a short self-test. Ensure that the settings are set as shown here. Frequency at 108.00 MHz. Set the RF level to 0 dBm. Set the tone to 1020 Hz. This will change the master mod level to 90%. The bearing should be set at 0 degrees and the to from indication should be set to 2. Ensure the tone delete is off. The next step in performing a VOR test is to set up the aircraft. In the cockpit, tune the VOR control panels to 108.00 MHz. Place the course pointer at 0 degrees or due north. Ensure that the horizontal situation indicator, or HSI, shows the VOR mode and no VOR flags exist, that the course pointer is at 0 degrees, and the course deviation indicator is centered. Also, ensure no VOR flags exist in the radiomagnetic indicator or similar compass display. To perform a check of the VOR flags, simply tune the VOR control panels to any frequency other than 108.00 MHz. VOR flags should come into view in the RMI and in the HSI. Tune the control panels back to 108.00 MHz and the flag should disappear. A VOR course width check is done to ensure that the course deviation indicator shows 2 dots of deviation for every 10 degrees the aircraft is off the selected VOR course. To perform a VOR course width test, select 350 degrees with the course pointer. The course deviation indicator in the HSI should deflect to 2 dots deviation. Next, return the course pointer to 000 degrees and the course deviation indicator should center. Repeat this test, selecting 10 degrees with the course pointer, and the course deviation indicator should deflect 2 dots in the opposite direction. Return the course pointer to 000 and the course deviation indicator should center again. That completes a VOR course width test. A VOR bearing test is accomplished to ensure the VOR system displays bearing to a VOR station accurately. To conduct a VOR bearing test using the IFR 4000, ensure the test set and the aircraft are set up as previously discussed. Frequency of 108 MHz, no VOR flags in view, and the course deviation indicator centered at 0 degrees or due north. Press the bearing soft key on the VOR screen to highlight the bearing parameter. Press the bearing soft key again to display a bearing of 30 degrees on the test set. Verify the course deviation indicator on the HSI centers with the course pointer set to 30 degrees. Also verify the VOR pointers in the RMI point to 30 degrees. Next, press the bearing soft key on the test set to display a bearing of 60 degrees. Verify the course deviation indicator on the HSI centers with the course pointer set at 60 degrees. Also, verify the VOR pointers on the RMI point to 60 degrees. Continue to press the bearing soft key and check that the indications on the HSI and RMI match for all of the remaining 30-degree increments of the compass card. This means check at 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, and 330 degrees. If all of the indications match the bearing displayed on the test set, the VOR bearing check is good. The next test we will discuss is a VOR to-from indication test. A VOR to-from indication test is accomplished to ensure the VOR system accurately displays if the aircraft is moving towards or away from a VOR station. To accomplish the VOR to-from indication test, first return the aircraft to its original test setup. Frequency at 108 MHz, course pointer at 0 degrees, and verify the HSI course points to 0 and the deviation indicator is centered. Next, press the To-From soft key on the VOR test screen to select From on the test set. Verify the To-From indication on the HSI changes from To to From. Then, press the To-From soft key on the test set again to display To, and verify the HSI again shows a To the station indication. Note: some older mechanical style HSIs will show To-From indication using a white triangle. When the triangle is pointed toward the course pointer arrow, the aircraft is headed to the station. When the triangle is pointed away from the course pointer arrow, the aircraft is headed from the station. The last VOR system test we will discuss is the VOR audio test. This test ensures that the aircraft communication system can output VOR audio to the cockpit speakers. To begin, ensure the mod tone value on the test set is set to 1020 Hz. In the cockpit, set up the audio panels to listen to VOR audio and ensure the cockpit speaker volume is turned up. You should hear a 1020 Hz audio tone. Then select the RF level field with the RF level key on the test set. Use the down button to decrease the RF level setting. The audio tone should start to fade. Note, the further the test set is from the VOR antenna, the quicker the tone will begin to fade. As the audio tone fades away, VOR flags should appear in the RMI and the HSI. This will conclude the VOR audio test and VOR testing as a whole. You will now take a short quiz. Answer the following questions using the material in this presentation. You may use the table of contents to the left to navigate the slides to find the answers. The questions are drawn at random and all of the answers are shuffled to ensure that no two quizzes are identical. Congratulations! You have completed the JMCC IFR 4000 Test Set Sample Training Module. Please contact JMCC for more information or to purchase this or other training material.